show. Joe Rogan just saved Josh Hokit from Shane Gillis. Man, we got a lot of insanity going on in the world right now, guys. We've got Josh Hokit. He called out Michelle Obama back at the White House. We all know about that. And that kind of, smoothed over. And now Shane Gillis popped on the Joe Rogan podcast, called out Josh Hokit. Joe Rogan intervened, interjected, and stood up for Josh. We're going to get into all that. More importantly, what it means to the current landscape of free speech, open ideas, creativity, and comedy, which all these people are claiming to be comedians, yet when there's a joke they don't like, now they got something to say, and we're going to get into all of it. Big show, very big show. Also, we got King Green, boxing people. We've got him pulling up to boxing gyms, doing well sometimes, and other times people are saying that he got cooked. We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into a little bit of like UFC versus boxing and some distinctions as to the psychology between the two sports. Also, guys, maybe we'll do it right now. Should I just give you guys my pick on who's going to win between Islam and Ian Gary? It's the biggest problem with that fight is that Ian Gary is so cooked that it's hard to be objective as to who's going to win, because obviously anybody who's mildly sane is like, dude, Ian's absolutely annoying and horrific, and he's unbearable to listen to in any of these interviews at all. And, that may sway you in picking the wrong way, because the fight is actually a little bit closer than some people are giving it credit for. And then lastly, we just there's some other stuff going on in the influencer space, in the celebrity world. Drake is buying girls' houses on Instagram dating shows. So we're going to get into all that, guys. Did Drake ruin dating? We're going to get into all that. If you guys want to get a little silly and nonsensical near the end of the video, we're going to get in that for you too. But mostly we're going to talk Joe Rogan, Josh Hokit, UFC, trash talk. Where's the line drawn? Does it go too far at times? Should you call out celebrities? What happens when you say something that people perceive as negative, but it benefits your career? Now you've got dual incentives. One is a societal incentive to say the right thing and be the polite guy, and then the other incentive is like your own career, and how to balance those two things. Where is the line drawn? Let me check the chat real quick. Make sure you guys are subscribed and like the video on the actual like button, please, if you can. It means a lot, and I appreciate everybody who's subscribed. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't subscribed, I can't even appreciate you. How could I? But if you hit subscribe, then I can. It's that simple. It feels good when you do it, so make sure you do that. And then bang that bell, turn on notifications, because I go live at random ass times. As you can see right now, it is, 4:50 p.m. I was supposed to go ball up UFC knockout of the night winner, Johnny Parsons, my former roommate, but he's actually cutting his grappling short today. So I'm like, dude, I'm not going to pull up for a half-ass practice, bro. So I'm going to go ball some other people up in advanced practice tonight. All right, we got John Hogan in the chat. Yo, 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 what's up? John, what's up? Good to see you, brother. We got John Dong in the chat saying, what's up? What's up, John Dong? John Dong is the first super liker on the channel. Super likes and super chats are enabled. So go ahead and send your boys some money. I promise I will spend it on caffeinated beverages. I will make poor choices and get overly caffeinated with all the money from the super chats. We got Ja Silva MMA with the waving hand emoji, or maybe he's ready to slap somebody in the face. I don't know. Maybe he's hitting somebody with a Stockton slap. Speaking of Stockton slaps, I heard there may be some Stockton slaps going down on Fight Circus in Las Vegas. Make sure you follow Fight Circus on Instagram for all the freak show fights. Go to Studio Millions. Ja, I got your message. I'm going to write you back. Go to Studio Millions. Send your coach to Studio Millions. They will pack your coach's gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. Man, your coach will love you for it. All you got to do is go to Studio Millions. Make sure they go there, sign up. It's free to sign up, and they can get some valuable resources that are going to help their gym. All right, also, if you're in Vegas, pull up to the Palms Place, stand at the front, turn around, walk across the street, you'll be at the spot. The spot's going to give you $100 worth of cabbage, lettuce, and broccoli for 65 bucks. You get $100 worth of product, you keep 35 bucks in your pocket. That's how we do it, guys. The Spot LV, let's go. I'm going to hit this real quick, and then we'll get right into it. Guys, I'm slacking. I'm only at 474 milligrams of caffeine today. I'm falling behind the pace. If you want to crack 1,000 milligrams, you gotta have a pace. And I'm falling behind the pace. So, anyways, never drink more than the recommended dose of caffeine. Never do that. Just because I do that, I'm a superhuman. I'm a freak of nature. I'm a genetic specimen. Don't do what I do. Right? Always listen to your doctor. Always listen to the government. Do what you're told, okay? Don't be like me. Don't drink all the caffeine you can. Don't drink 1,000 milligrams of caffeine and like 400 milligrams of L-theanine and then supplement that with lion's manes mushrooms and then feel like you can see the future and things unfolding like a chessboard in front of you. Don't do that. Always listen to your doctor, even if your doctor's obese with diabetes and metabolic health problems. Always listen to your doctor. They read a book, bro. They read a freaking book. So listen to them, okay? Oh, I'm being serious. Like always, guys, always. We live in America. We're not allowed to have opinions. We have to just listen to somebody else, guys. That's what we do here, all right? That's what we freaking do. Make sure you do whatever the government and the doctor tells you to do, guys. Anyways, okay, so, oh man, I wrote the fucking title wrong on this video. Guys, come on, man. Come on. See, that's what happens, guys. You leave me to my own devices, I'm going to start spelling shit wrong. Okay, so Shane Gillis blasts Josh Hokit until Joe Rogan steps in and calls him out. Because, okay, so here's the thing. The biggest thought that I had about the entire Josh Hokit controversy, where he called Michelle Obama out her name, was that Shane Gillis is up in arms about it, saying he doesn't like it. But Joe Rogan did something very similar in his comedy special. The only difference is that Joe Rogan said he believes Obama has a, okay? She has a, you know what I mean? And so then he pulled it back. He said, oh, no, I don't really think that, but I think all these other conspiracy theories are true, right? So Joe Rogan pulled it back in like a joking manner, but he did say it. So Shane Gillis is now clutching his pearls that Josh Hokit said something very similar at the White House. In fact, he was saying it was a bad look for the MMA community to have somebody do that at the White House. And it's like a bad look to who, man? So Joe Rogan steps in and says it was smart. We're going to get to that in 1 second. But before we do, Josh Hokit has fired back at Shane. He's fired back at Shane Gillis. And he's like, bro, they painted the freaking White House rainbows and had MADDOT at the White House. If we were to spell the word GAF backwards, GAF, he said that's who they had at the White House, right? Like, he was going in, and he has a very strong stance on men and women being together and not anybody else being together. So he was going in and he was saying, bro, they did all that. They spit in our faces, so we spit in theirs. So Josh Hokit is essentially drawn a line in the sand. The thing is, I think Shane Gillis is still kind of working in Hollywood a little bit. So he's probably towing the line. He said on paper, that would be funny to go to the White House and then call Michelle that. But, you know, in reality, it's a bad look. Okay? Now, Shane may be out of touch, or maybe he just is trying to keep his job in Hollywood. But there's a huge percentage of the population that believes that theory to be very accurate. Josh Hokit is speaking for those people. Those are Josh Hokit's base. And Joe Rogan came in and said Josh is smart, not only for appealing to his base, but more so because the mainstream media is going in on Josh Hokit, and they're still talking about that to this day. He's saying Diego Lopez knocked out Steve Garcia, and no one's speaking about it. We're still talking about Josh Hokit's statement at the end of his White House fight. So this leads us to the question. At what point does shock value go too far? Because we're in a society now where influencers are running up to people in the street. Influencers are pulling up to restaurants. They're crashing out. They're doing things for views, which are bad for society, but are good for that individual's bank account. And Josh Hokit is an extrapolation of that, where he said something that upset a lot of people, and it's actually beneficial for his career in a lot of ways. Now, at a lesser level, less famous people trying to become influencers realize that the more controversial content they can put out, the more shock value. Hey, I'm gonna go spray this mustard in the chef's face at the restaurant, and then he's gonna crash out on me and throw boiling water at, like, whatever the fuck they're thinking, right? Like, bad for society. And so I've been thinking about this a lot because even with the thumbnails, right? Even with the thumbnails convert better if I put two guys yelling at each other in the thumbnails. Like if I go, hey, make a thumbnail with Joe Rogan and Josh Hokit, or make a thumbnail with Joe Rogan and Josh Hokit yelling, I get a higher click-through rate with the yelling. It's like we're living in this bizarre state of reality where we're now interfacing with AI. And I have a dear friend, he's single, and he's on dating apps. And I was talking to my girlfriend about this. And I was like, our friend, person that we know, right? He's talking to women on a dating app who are talking to guys who are using ChatGPT to reply to the girl. So the girl says, hey, what are you doing tonight? The guy's going, hey, she said this. Paste that into ChatGPT. ChatGPT's coming up with some, hey, totally get it. You want to know what I'm doing for the night? Well, I could tell you, but that would ruin the mystery. Sounds like you have something specific in mind. You know what I mean? They're hitting her back with ChatGPT lines. Now, the crazy part is this. While it's lesser, I'm sure some women are using ChatGPT as well. So now we got two AIs with human default pictures. Like my boy has his picture up and he's competing for the attention of this woman against dudes who are using ChatGPT's lines. And now if he starts getting worse results, he may go to ChatGPT. And now she's talking to ChatGPT. She's attracted to ChatGPT. And she may go meet my friend based on something ChatGPT said. So she doesn't actually know my friend. He may not even know her. We may have two AIs talking to each other on a dating app, and two real humans whose pictures represent these AIs are going to go meet each other in real life. It's getting weird out here, y'all. And then, so I've been kind of tripping on that, right? Like, as the so the other question my girlfriend and I were discussing was, at what point would we, if we could reset technology to a certain point, like at what point was technology peaked? What point has it gone too far? And I feel like there was a big change when the algorithm came in, just in general, because previously your feed was your friends. So you would stay up to date on your friends, and then all of a sudden they started putting like random shit in your feed. And for me, I don't watch the news because, like, here's all the shit that happened today. The news reports on the bad shit. So why isn't it called the bad news? So I'm not going to watch that personally. And then the algo started popping off, and it started putting bad shit in the feed, even though I don't want to see that, right? Because that's what everybody else is watching. So it's suggesting it to me to see if I engage with it. So I don't engage with it, and I try and curate my feed, and I mute shit, and I'm pressing all the buttons. I'm getting it all gone, right? But the algorithm is now like taking over feeds. So rather than it being quote unquote a social network, it's more like a interest network, right? So if you're interested in MMA, you may not see your friends. You may see whatever influencer is talking about the MMA topic of the day. Right. So as one realizes that if they have the craziest take, or the Mikey Musumeci is currently going viral, not for being really good at jiu-jitsu, for being really creepy in a video with a woman who some people would say is fairly attractive. And now Mikey is showing her a calf slicer without her calf. And now he's sprawling into the back of her body with his hips without the calf slicer on. He's mounting, triangling her, and then thrusting his hips forward, and then having her do the same thing to him. And while that video is going viral, right? Like, what are we doing here at this point, right? So this whole situation really leads one to like borderline an existential like thought, right? Like what the fuck are we doing here? Right? Because we've got Shane Gillis saying this would be funny on paper, yet blasting it when TMZ comes up to talk to him. Because he's not communicating based on what he really thinks. Hey, he may have thought it was funny, but he's worried about what people think. He's worried about what he has to say to keep his job in Hollywood. He's worried about, hey, these reporters are asking me this. I want to make sure that both my fans on either side of the aisle, like whatever the fuck he's thinking, right? And so one thing that a lot of people are thinking is like, how would the algorithm react to this? And so for me personally, I'm going to move away from all that. I'm moving towards authenticity. Now, Josh Hokit is in a unique situation because I really believe he believes what he's saying. So he's being authentic and he's entertaining himself with these characters that he does and all this shit, as opposed to, let's say, Kobe Covington, who people say is very different in real life. And I met Kobe. He was super cool. I met him for 2 seconds, right? We were at WrestleMania in Vegas, and my dear friend Doc Ock had floor seats for us. So we were sitting right next to the ring at WrestleMania. And like DC was there, Daniel Cormier, and Kobe was there, which was interesting because when I would walk around, for whatever reason, people were trying to take pictures with me thinking I was him. I don't think I look like Kobe Covington. But maybe it's hard for non-white people to identify white people accurately. I don't know. Maybe they think all white people look the same. So anyways, they were, oh, Kobe, what's up? Let me take a picture. I'm over here taking pictures with people like, hey, I'm your favorite fighter, whatever the fuck he says, president's favorite fighter. I'm just fucking playing along. I don't know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But people are saying that Kobe was a bit disingenuous with his character, whereas Josh Hokit is a little bit more authentic to his character. Now, some of the people who have the biggest like cult followings, despite winning and losing, are the Diaz brothers. Because like that's like really them. They're fucking authentic. And I believe for the limited time while we still have human influencers, authenticity is going to become more and more important. Right? Because what's going to happen when you put out an Instagram reel? The dude next to you has AI. He's got Claude, blah, 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 blah. He's putting out 100 reels a day. And now there's 100,000 or 1 million people putting out 100 reels a day via AI. Like, the amount of watch hours worldwide is limited. Then there's going to be like this like growing amount of content that's put out by AI. It's going to be so much that it can never, ever be consumed. And it's going to start tapping into market share of other things. So I understand that people want to be controversial. They want to get the views. But even that is very limited. Because we're moving into an era where the only thing that's why Paramount paid $7.7 billion for the UFC. Because live events still matter. Right? If you have a TV show, let's say you want to make hey, it's kind of like The Simpsons, but it's crazy, but it's this, but it's that, right? But like AI can do that already. Someone can make a cartoon that's better than a TV show from back in the day, right? Like, so there's going to be, and the point of that is that anything that's not consumed live will be easily replaced with AI. The only thing that people are betting on right now is personal brand and the ability to have a live event. Everything else can be fucking overwhelmed with AI content, right? Could just be fucking pushed out of the marketplace. So I think Joe Rogan is right that Josh Hokit on one level was intelligent because he's the only one out of everyone on the fucking card who's still being talked about. Even Justin Gaethje beat Ilia Topuria, did a fucking backflip at the White House, and people are talking about Josh Hokit. Right? So then that incentivizes other people to say more and more crazy shit. Take that all the way to like Ian Gary, who Brennan Schaub believes is just putting on an act because he thinks it's what I believe Ian Gary really means what he says. I believe Ian Gary believes it. I believe Ian Gary believes that he believes it. It's cringe as fuck. Very, very unwatchable. But he may have the skill set to beat Islam. That's a big problem. Because we cannot have that man as champ. We can't, guys, we can't. Islam has to win. Islam has to win. I'm picking Islam. I may be biased, but I feel like Ian Gary is going into this fight a little bit, what should we say? Too in his own fucking echo chamber. He's got a lot of people around him regurgitating the same things to him. He's bouncing those same ideas back to them. They're telling him he's great. He goes to a press conference. He can't figure out why he's booed. But when I tell my wife these things, she thinks I'm great. Dude, she's giving you these concepts. You're telling them back to her. She's basically saying like, good boy for reciting what I told you to say. You think this is fucking marvelous, like you got the right answers on the fucking test in junior high school or something. And now you're confused as to why the crowd is not rocking with you. I mean, they're rocking with Islam. So I just can't pick him. I can't pick him to win. I know it's popular right now to pick Ian Gary as like the, oh shit, hot take. Pick Ian Gary. I'm picking Islam. I'm riding with Islam. Yes, Islam's undersized. Yes, Ian Gary has a lot of tools, rangy tools that he can use on Islam. People are talking about how Islam's going to try and shoot on him. Islam's not Mr. fucking shoot a double leg, right? There's a lot of like body lock situations that happen. You know, foot sweeps. Those can be, in some positions, we're not going to get into a fucking technical breakdown right now. That's not what I do here. I do that at the gym. That's for here, we're fucking around, right? But in some of those positions, doing those types of body locks can be more challenging against a taller opponent. Anyway, despite all that, we just got to believe, man. The same way we believed about Gaethje, like we need this one. That's how I'm feeling. We can get it, guys. We could just vibe out and attract Islam beating Ian Gary, and then hopefully Ian Gary could just ride off into the sunset and we never have to hear about him interview again. Or maybe Islam beats some sense into him. Ian has a change of heart and starts talking like a normal person. That'd be dope. John Dong says, plus, isn't she just basically separating Gary from his family because it's like a cult? Man, I don't know. She wrote a book on it. Somebody's probably got a breakdown of what she says in the book, but that might be in there. I don't know. Here's the people are blaming her. I believe it's an Ian Gary issue. He's choosing to do this. This is his choice. He's a grown man. I know she's a little bit more mature and more worldly than he is. And he was young and probably inexperienced when they met. And she's probably very calculated and all that, right? But like, he is an adult. It is on him. He should know better. And maybe he likes what's happening. He's got a zesty ass walk up the UFC PI steps. If you guys have seen that reel, he could be enjoying the dude living with his wife. He could be. I'm not judging. That's not me clowning him. I'm trying to be open-minded. Like, hey, maybe that's what he's into, right? Maybe that's what he's into. Maybe the guy likes that. Also, speaking of dudes doing shit that's bizarre, but Drake, we got Drake out here LARPing as a simp. Why is Drake doing this? Drake knows that this is what the simp population idolizes. Big titty goth girl. OMG, I'd buy her a house too if I was Drake. Oh my gosh, Drake, right? And then this is what a lot of the female population is looking for. Some fucking rich celebrity dude. Wait, you're different. You're the one. Let me buy you a house. And now we got these girls on TikTok talking about Drake just messed the game up for everybody, okay? Man, you need to step your game up because Drake is buying us houses. It's like Drake ain't buying you a house. Drake is on video saying he's going to buy her a house to run his view count up and probably release an album. You know what I mean? He's staying in the center of the spotlight is what Drake's doing. And I see a lot of like back and forth about this. Like, is this good for dating? Is this bad for dating? Did Drake ruin dating? You know, and like, again, that's like a controversial title to a video. Did Drake ruin dating? And then, you know, the male influencer gets on there and is like, well, dating's been ruined because social media. Dating has, like, dude, bro, dating's not ruined. Maybe I'm in a fucking different place than everybody. I don't know. I don't think I'm like, I'm just a fucking dude, right? Like, I have an amazing girlfriend. I met her like a year and a half ago. There's awesome women out there. You could go meet them. They're everywhere. Like, just talk to people, say hi. Like, what, to me, dating's not ruined. It's just like, there's this meme that dating's ruined. And in order to get the views, you got to play into that. So then it's like this snowball effect of fucking Drake ruined dating. Oh my gosh. And then, you know, the female influencer is coming on and saying, guys need to step their game up, da, 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 da. And it's like the dude's reacting to the girl reacting to Drake. And we got this fucking clusterfuck. And it's like, just put your fucking phone down and get back to reality, you know? There's people everywhere. People want to meet people. People want to connect. And if anything, man, it's even easier now than ever because everybody is involved in all this bullshit back and forth. If you go out and you meet somebody real, they're going to appreciate your realness. Because it's in a world full of fake, fucking stupid bullshit. Again, authenticity is going to win. So moving forward for the rest of 2026 into 2027, that's the key word, authenticity. Anyways, guys, I'm having fun being back on here live with you. Make sure you got notifications on. I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Peace out.